my name is Madison and welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are new here, I am a 22-year-old PhD student and finance-loving girly that is going to be talking to y'all about the American Express Gold Card today. I have had this credit card for about 2 years now. I got approved for it, I believe, end of March in 2020, and I have been absolutely loving it. It is by far my favorite credit card in my wallet right now out of my 5, and I thought I would talk through why exactly that is. We'll go through the pros, the cons, and a whole lot more on why I think you need one of these as well. Before we jump into today's video, if you have not already subscribed, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button right down below. It really helps me out, and then you don't miss any future uploads from me. Also, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and comment down below if you have any video suggestions or ideas. I really value making content that I'm excited to make and that y'all are excited to watch, so a little bit of a two-way street here. But that being said, let's just jump right in. If y'all are interested in getting this credit card, right now you can use the link down below and get 60,000 bonus points if you spend $6,000 in your first 6 months. And if you get approved for this credit card by May 22nd, you also get 20% back on all of your restaurant purchases for the first 3 months in a statement credit. That is insane to me. I wish I had that deal when I first got this credit card, but that is absolutely mind-blowing. So all of your restaurant purchases effectively for the first 3 months are 20% off. What? Regardless, now is absolutely the time to get one of these cards if you're interested. Some of parts of this offer are specific to the link down below, so use that if you're interested. And without further ado, here are the pros and the cons, mostly the pros, but I will touch on a few cons. Now, a brief overview of the card itself. Again, a lot of these are pros in and of itself, but the card does have a $250 annual fee, which is not a cheap price to pay, but in my opinion, it is absolutely worth it. Aside from that, you get 4 times points on restaurants, takeout, and delivery. So if you are somebody that uses Uber Eats, DoorDash, Postmates, etc. fairly often, you do get 4 times points on those purchases as well, which is huge and something that's not overly common in the credit card industry right now. You also get 4 times back on grocery stores, which is huge. Again, this card is really hitting sort of like the foodies, that sort of thing. I am somebody that definitely likes to eat out, and I feel like I go to the grocery store 3 times a week sometimes, so having my 4 times points back on my grocery purchases is absolutely huge. This has become my catch-all card for anything food related. Unfortunately, you do not get any specific gas points or bonus points for gas purchases on this card. But that being said, I really think that the 4 times points on restaurants and groceries totally works in its favor. You also get 3 times points on all of your flights booked through the travel portal. Now, in my opinion, this is huge. It is March 17th when I'm filming this video, and I think y'all will probably see this video today. I have taken 15 flights in 2024. 15! Now, I know you're wondering how I took an odd number of flights. I went on a road trip and then flew back because I was driving my friend across the country, but regardless, I've been on 15 flights this year, and now almost every single one of those flights I booked directly through the Amex portal, and getting 3 times points back on those flights is absolutely huge. Not to mention that the transfer partners for your points that you do earn are phenomenal. Amex is some of the best, especially international flight transfer partners in the game right now. I went to Europe a few months ago and used almost all my Amex points on flights, which was huge. All I had to pay was like some $8 fees here and there, and while I was there, I got every single night except for 3 of the 15 that I was there paid for with my points as well. So hotel points. Again, the points add up super fast if you're using this card correctly, especially if you can sign on with a fairly substantial sign-on bonus like they're offering right now. And the cherry on top of all this is using their travel portal to book things gets you even more points. Another thing many people don't notice about this card is that it is actually a charge card. So this is not technically a credit card where you are given a set credit limit. Now, as again a 22-year-old college student, this is mind-blowing to me. The fact that somebody like American Express trusts me with a charge card in my hand is kind of shocking to me, but it's also very, very comforting. A few of my other cards include the Amex Blue Cash, I have the Bilt Rewards card, I have the Marriott Bonvoy Boundless credit card, and then I have the Discover Student card. Now, the Discover Student card in particular is targeted at students that have no credit history. Now, because of this, they don't give you a very high credit limit at all. Like, I would say on my other cards, I have fairly high credit limits, especially for my age and my credit score. Well, I think I have a really good credit score because the cards have helped me get the credit score, which is also now helping me get cards like the gold card. That being said, having cards like the student card, the Discover Student card, that don't give you a very high credit limit can be sort of detrimental and worrisome as somebody who's young, like myself. Now, this is of course because your credit limit is oftentimes dependent on how much money you are making, and again, I'm a PhD student, I don't get paid a ton. I do have other income sources, which is great, but I'm by no means like rolling in the dough. So having a charge card like the Amex Gold card where I don't have a fixed credit limit is so relieving to me. For those of you that don't know how a charge card works, you effectively have no credit limit. You can go in on the Amex portal, and if you're curious to see if a purchase is going to get approved or not, you can actually test it. So they have a whole portal where you can put in how much the purchase would cost or would be, and it'll tell you if you're going to get approved or not. And now, I think this is dependent on your credit score, so of course that is a factor. I have a fairly / very good credit score for my age, I will say, but I've done a little bit of work experimenting with this, and I have put in a $55,000 purchase. I didn't actually buy it, but like I put that in the little system that tells me if it would get approved or not, and it did say it would get approved. Again, this is relieving to me because if I am overseas traveling somewhere and something happens and this is the only card that works, or I need to make some big purchase or whatever in case of emergency, it's relieving to know that I can make purchases time and time again that are going to add up substantially, and they're still going to continue to get approved, again, which is huge. I don't ever see a scenario in which I would need to put $55,000 on the card in a single purchase, but knowing that that option is there if I had a dozen purchases that added up for whatever reason, and I'm still safe and I'm still, you know, able to purchase that in case of emergency, very relieving. Going off of that, there are no foreign transaction fees, which again is becoming much more common in the credit card industry, especially for any of the top tier cards. If you are looking to travel, again, this card is really, really targeted at traveling with the fantastic travel partners for their rewards points, their bonus points on the travel portal itself, and then all of your restaurant bonus points are also eligible internationally, which is great. And you are somebody that travels frequently, this card is great because there are no foreign transaction fees, and as we speak, Amex is becoming more and more popular overseas. Like I said, I was in Europe a few months ago and I was really worried that my card wasn't going to be useful over there because Amex does charge a higher fee per transaction than most other credit cards, so a lot of vendors sometimes steer away from using Amex. That being said, my American Express Gold card was accepted more places than my Discover card was, so food for thought. Two other big perks of this card that really are some of the selling points of justifying that $250 annual fee is that every single month you get a $10 Uber credit. This is valid on Uber, so like rideshare, or Uber Eats, which is great. You can use it on either. It does expire at the end of the month, so it sort of incentivizes you to use it. But if you are somebody that's clever about it and smart about it, you'll have no issue spending it, is at least what I found. I actually Ubered home from a party last night. It was $11 and I think 17 cents. I used my card or my credit and then tipped on top of that, and between the tip and the difference, it ended up being like a $6 Uber ride because it would have been 16 had I not had that credit. So I am by no means somebody that uses Uber Eats frequently, But if I know it's getting to the end of the month or I have some travel coming up that I'm not going to be able to use it for, I'll go out and get a Chipotle bowl or whatever for pickup through Uber Eats and use the credit that way. So I have had no issue using this credit. Overall, I think it's a great perk. And again, if you use it properly, the card itself is really only $10, I feel like, because you're getting $20 a month in these credits. You also get $120 of restaurant credit. Now this is much less flexible, unfortunately. There are a very specific list of vendors that you get this credit from. Shake Shack is one of them. I think Cheesecake Factory is another. Now, there's a Shake Shack a few blocks away from me, and I make it my monthly outing to go to Shake Shack so I can use this credit. It does come in the form of a statement credit, so you do need to pay for the purchase upfront, and then you get $10 relieved in your statement credit, which is great. So now, as far as the cons go, I sort of touched on this a little bit, and I honestly feel like there aren't many. There are no points for gas, so if you are looking for an everyday catch-all card, if you're not somebody that travels, that's great for gas and groceries. This potentially is not the best credit card for you. There are some other ones out there that are a better catch-all, but if you are looking to travel, again, this card is great because you get the bonus points on using the travel portal. Your restaurant bonus points are effective internationally, and then that travel portal for redeeming your points is also wonderful in my experience. If you live outside the US or you do a lot of travel, just be aware that Amex is not as commonly accepted as MasterCard and Visa internationally, but it is becoming much more and more accepted. Again, I found Amex to be more accepted than Discover, so food for thought there. And then of course the annual fee is $250. So if you do not think that you are going to make use of those Uber credits and of those restaurant statement credits on Cheesecake Factory, Shake Shack, and a few of the other restaurants that they have available, it maybe doesn't work out quite to be as good of a deal for you, but overall, I cannot say enough good things about this card. Again, I'm going on my second year having it. Well, I've already had it for 2 years, so I'm going on my third year, and I do not see myself getting rid of this card anytime soon. If you are looking to get this card, they do recommend that your credit score is between 670 and 850. My credit score is right around 800 right now, so do with that what you will. Totally doable though. If you've been smart and if you've been in the game and you have good credit and you pay everything off on time, that is wonderful. I again had no issues getting approved for this credit card. One other great perk that I didn't necessarily mention earlier that goes along with the charge card comment is your credit score is dependent on your utilization. Now, I am somebody that pays off my credit cards weekly to keep my utilization low, right around the like 1 to 2% mark on almost all of my credit cards, because that does affect your credit score. If you pay it off once a month as opposed to more frequently, you're having big spikes in your utilization, where at the end of the month you might be closer to 5-6% or higher on your utilization. You pay it off and you reset back at 0. If you're paying it off frequently, your utilization stays much lower, which helps your credit score. Now, because this is a charge card and you have no set credit limit, there is no utilization. There are pros and cons to this. You cannot necessarily use my little hacky method as a way to influence and improve your credit score because you have no utilization percentage. But if you are somebody that is going to be spending a lot on this card, don't worry, because you won't have a high utilization percentage that will negatively affect your credit score because there is no utilization percentage at all. Wow, okay, that was a lot. Before we conclude, like I mentioned, if you're interested in getting this card, the link down below will get you 60,000 bonus points if you spend $6 grand in your first 6 months, which is a screaming deal. And then you also, if you get approved for this credit card before May 22nd, 2024, you get 20% back on your restaurant purchases and a statement credit for 3 months. That is insane to me. Very jealous of y'all that are gonna get this card with that deal, because I did not have that deal when I got this card. But that link or these benefits are exclusive to that link below, so if you're interested, check that out. And again, if you have not subscribed, given this video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it if you did before we ended today's video. I hope you all enjoyed, and I appreciate you sticking around with me. Enjoy your Sunday, and I will see you all next time. Peace out. Bye.